All right, what we got here from my butcher box is a 1/2 bone-in pork butt, about 6.5 pounds approximately. It's got a decent amount of fat on it, and what we're gonna do is turn this into some pulled pork via the Instant Pot. I could pressure cook it for about 90 minutes, but we're gonna put it in all night and use the slow cook feature. And tomorrow afternoon, we'll let it slow cook for about 14 hours. This is gonna be the jam. I wanna show you how I'm gonna do it, just in 1 sec. All right, I just got the pork out, ready to go. We're gonna go ahead and season it up with some pork butt. This stuff's the jam. It's Bad Byron's. There's no MSG in here, there's no sugar in here, so it's just straight up seasoning, which is primarily salt, pepper, and a little cayenne pepper, along with paprika. So you can make your own up. And then I'm also gonna add a little bit of Redmond's real salt in there. But before we get started, I got some beef tallow. So we're gonna take a little bit of the beef tallow here, dump it in the Instant Pot. And we're gonna get it on saute. So while that's warming up, we'll go ahead and start seasoning this. When it's seasoned, I'll come right back to you and show you putting it inside. All right, so as you can see, the oil is heating up inside the Instant Pot, which again is the beef tallow, but you can use any oil you want. I highly recommend a good oil like coconut oil, avocado oil, ghee, lard, or tallow. I stay away from canola oil, vegetable oil, or any other garbage. At any rate, I liberally seasoned with the pork butt. Now what we're gonna do is dump this in the Instant Pot, and we're gonna brown it on all sides. So as you'll hear it once I dump it in. All right, so I went ahead and browned it on all 6 sides, and obviously we're gonna cook it a lot longer, but this is just gonna add some added flavor to the end product here. And if you look down in here, you have a lot of charred spice in there on the bottom. And what we're gonna do is deglaze the pan and add some more taste and flavor back in. So what I'm first gonna do is I got some apple cider vinegar. I like to use organic Bragg's with the mother. So what we're gonna do is just dump a little hair in there. But then the real magic is I got my homemade beef broth. We'll shake this up a little bit just to make sure it's all the same consistency. We're gonna dump about a 1/4 cup in here. Just enough to fill the pan. And I still have it on the saute feature. And we're gonna try and get all of that spice off. And that's gonna add so much yummy flavor at the end of this. And then something that'll help me get that off there too is I took the liberty of already coarsely chopping some onion. So we're gonna add that in here. And then I also have some minced garlic. We'll add that in a second. So let's move this around until we get this completely glazed. Deglazed, I should say. All right, so you can see I've completely deglazed that. I still have it on saute. The onions are kind of cooking. And now I'm gonna add the minced garlic. It's gonna add a real nice flavor to it. We'll give that a stir. Get in there. And then at this point, just gonna add a little bit of Redmond's real salt. into there. That'll dissolve in there. Not too much. And then what we're gonna do is put the pork butt back in. We'll cancel this out. Drop that in there. If you want to cover the rest of it with some salt, that's fine. And we can spice it to taste afterwards. Again, I use bone broth, but you don't have to use bone broth. You can use water, put a bouillon cube in it. You could use soup-based stock, whatever. It doesn't matter. I make my own bone broth, so I like to use it. So now I got the Instant Pot shut off. It's covered. Now we're gonna put it on slow cook. I got it set for 14 hours. So tomorrow afternoon, around noon, this will be ready. So we'll jump to tomorrow. I'll pull it out and we'll see how it turned out. I got a pretty good feeling that this is gonna be pretty kick-ass. So see you tomorrow. All right, so it's about 1:45 today. This thing's been 14 plus 3.5, so it's like 17.5 hours it's been in there slow cooking. It's on a low setting, so it's time to check out our progress. You can look down in there. You'll see there's quite a bit of juice in there that it leaked out on its own, so don't throw that away. That's liquid gold. You want to keep that. That's going to provide a lot of flavor. So we're going to pull this pork out, and I'm hoping that it completely just falls apart and shreds very nicely. I wish I had a pair of shredders. If you have that, that's great. If you have the gloves that are insulated, rubber gloves, those are also great to pull this apart. But I'm gonna have to go old school with a fork. So let's pull this out. All right, so we got this pork out, and now we're just gonna pull it apart. Hopefully this thing falls apart pretty nicely. Feels tender. Oh yeah, look at that. Boom. Wow. So this does have a bone in it, so hopefully we clean this bone off really nicely. Has a decent fat content in here. A lot of people like to carve that away, but I keep it in for the flavor. And since I'm keto, I want to try and eat that fat. So moist. Yeah, meat just falls right off that bone. Bone's gonna be real hot, look. And of course, I'll keep this bone for bone broth in the future and put it in the fridge, but I'll push it off to the side for now. All right, so at this point, completely shredded the pork. As you can see, it was relatively easy. Came apart nice. This is so tender. You could eat this as is right now. As a matter of fact, a little taste test. Yeah. But we're gonna eat this later. I wanna make some pulled pork sandwiches out of this. So what I'm doing right now is I'm reducing that liquid gold I told you about earlier down. Probably there was about 4 cups in there, and I've reduced it down probably 1/3 at this point. It's gonna make like a gravy almost. I got it on the saute function. But we'll go ahead and cancel that right now, and we'll put it on the keep warm function. And I'm gonna transfer this back in. Of course, if you want it, you can just put some barbecue sauce on that right now and eat it, or you could just spoon out some of this gravy right onto it and eat it right now. But again, I wanna make some pulled pork sandwiches for later, and I'll show you how I make my cloud bread as well in another video. But right now I'm going to transfer it over, put the lid on. We have a couple errands to run today. We're going to go down to one of the festivals locally. And when we come back, I'll show you how the pulled pork sandwiches turned out. All right, so now the moment of truth, the taste test. We got some sharp provolone here. So we'll attempt our, kind of like our roast pork and proby. And what I'm gonna do is, we've got our cloud bread lined out right here. And I'm gonna double line these so that the bread doesn't get soggy. It is egg based, but it potentially gets soggy. All right. And let's open this up. All right, so what we're gonna do is we've laid out this awesome pork right on top of the cheese here. We're gonna lay a little bit of onion on each of these. If you want barbecue sauce or any of your favorite stuff, you know, go ahead and add that on there. I try and keep this keto and carnivore friendly. Now we're gonna lay another layer of provolone right on top. And we're just gonna put this in a broiler for about a minute and let all that cheese melt. And we'll get back and let you know what it looks like. All right, now it's time for the taste test. So what I'm gonna do is cut one of these in half. Oh, these are juicy as all get out. See if I can show you. Looks pretty good. Yeah. This is as close to a roast pork and proby without having a hoagie roll, and then zero carbs other than onions. Highly recommend this if you get a chance. Get all the ingredients that I talked about earlier and make yourself one of these. That's eating with Marco.